Have you been training for more than 6 months and noticed that you're no longer progressing like you used to? Well, you may now be in the intermediate phase of training and will have to adjust your program accordingly. Let me tell you how. When training at the intermediate level, there's generally two main progression systems. The first one is wave loading, and then there's double progression. With wave loading, we start at 8 reps in the first week for a certain amount of weight. Then we drop to 7 reps in the second week, increase the weight by 2.5 to 5 kilos, drop to 6 reps in week 3, increase the weight again by 2.5 to 5 kilos. Then in that fourth week, we either take a deload if you're feeling pretty beaten up, or we go back up to 8 reps at 2.5 to 5 kilos heavier than your last 8 rep week. Below you'll find an example of how this might look. Now the same system can also be used from the 5 to 7 rep range, from the 3 to 5 rep range, or even moving into the hypertrophy zone, we can use the 8 to 12 rep range, where here we would decrease the reps by 2 reps each week, so 12, 10, 8. This wave loading style is primarily used for compound movements. For isolation exercises, we move onto the double progression system. With the double progression system, we would choose a rep range, say 8 to 12, then we would pick a weight where we would be able to reach somewhere within this 8 to 12 rep range without reaching failure. Then each week, we would try to increase the amount of reps that we're performing until we reach 12 reps. Once you're able to perform 12 reps, then we increase the weight and try to get within this range again. If you find that when you increase the weight, you're no longer able to get within this 8 to 12 rep range, then you can increase it to 6 to 12 or even 8 to 15, so you have that bigger buffer zone before you increase the weight. When increasing the weight with this progression system, because you're generally using lighter weights, I would recommend finding the smallest increment possible. The reason that we use a double progression system instead of the wave loading system for isolation movements is it's unrealistic to expect that you're going to be able to increase your dumbbell curls by 2.5 to 5 kilos every 4 weeks. If this was realistic, then you'd be able to start off with 10 kilos at the start of the year, and then by the end of the year, you'd be able to dumbbell curl 40 kilo dumbbells, and that's just not going to happen. Below is an example of how this double progression system might work.